Hello racing fans, and a warm welcome to Trackside, proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting. Bet with the best, bet with WSB. Well, I trust everyone's well, keeping good, and looking forward to this weekend's racing. I hope it was a profitable week for you, and if not, well, you got two good race meetings to look forward to this weekend. On Saturday it's at Turfentine, and on Sunday at Scottsville. We picked out 4 horses to follow this weekend. There will be 2 trebles up on the World Sports Betting menu, and away we go with those 4 horses. Well, it's an early start for us at Turfentine on Saturday. We begin in race number 1, which will be at 11:45. It is a maiden plate over 1600 meters, and what I'm hoping here, guys, is that we found the value, because I expect this horse to be at a decent price and we could get off to a flying start for Saturday. And the horse's name is Bold Act. Ali Glad will team up with Craig Zaki. And this individual, well, he looked ready to win prior to the layoff that they gave him on the 19th of August. He had 2 good runs prior to that. In fact, 3 good runs prior to that layoff. A third, a second, and a third. And then he was given a 5-month break, and he's had 2 runs back. His first run over 1400 meters at the Val Classic track, he was in desperate need of that run. I watched that replay closely. He was beaten some 8 lengths, but you could see he was in need of the run, and the necessary improvement was there at his next start, as it was expected, over 1400 meters. He was a good fourth behind Castle of Glass, who has since won again, and that was a good run. That run is certain to have brought him on as well. Now, if you look at that last start where Castle of Glass has since won again, and Tabisi was in that race, finished second, and finished 1.75 lengths in front of Bold Act, and he since has had 2 runs, finishing a third and a second. But I just feel, although held by Tabisi on that last start, this horse is now having his peak run. He's going over a distance that's going to suit him much better, which is 1600 meters, and I'm expecting him to reverse the form with Cornet Spacer's horse here, and I'll give him a strong winning chance. So he'll have his 3rd run back from a break, and against this type of field where there is a form to go around, and there's an unknown coming through from Cape Town, debuting for Sean Terry, called Canada Square as well. I just feel that he could be in the right place at the right time, this individual, number 2, Bold Act, and he's going to be the value and hopefully get us off to a good start on Saturday in race number 1 at Turfentine. Then we're sticking with Turfentine. I've picked out 2 horses at Turfentine, 2 horses at Scottsville, and the next of our 2 from Turfentine will come up in one of the feature races on the day, the Jack Kuranda handicap. A listed race over 1800 meters. Now we're going with what I think is a filly that's just going from strength to strength. She's a classy individual. She's a 6-time winner. She's now had 4 on the bounce, and included in those 4 wins of late have been the Grade 3 Yellowwood handicap and the Group 2 World Sports Betting Ipitombi Challenge. Now, she won both those races in fine style, and when you go to that World Sports Betting Ipitombi Challenge race, there was a certain Rain in Holland in that race, the 3-year-old, and she gave her 5 kgs, and she beat her convincingly. And we know that Rain in Holland has won the first 2 legs of the Triple Tiara, the Guineas and the Classic, and she's now on track on possibly going all the way and winning the Oaks, the last leg, and being another Triple Tiara winner, adding her name to an illustrious roll of honor when it comes to those horses that have reeled off the Triple Tiara. So Bold Fortune tops the ratings there, so she'll have to give the entire weight to the field, carrying 60.5 kgs, but she carries the weight well. When I looked at her wins carrying 60 kgs, the weight doesn't get to her at all. And when you look at this combination of Diego de Gouveia and Stuart Pettigrew, they always team up successfully. And Stuart Pettigrew, what a run he's having. His stable's in cracking good form, and this horse Bold Fortune. I'm just hoping that, against this type of field, that a class would prevail, because she is coming off a 2-month break. That's not supposed to be a concern for her, because she does enjoy racing fresh, as the stat will show. Rest plus 1, 4 times, 2 wins and a second. So that's not a concern at all. And whilst there is form to go around in this race, you can make a case for a number of horses, including number 4 Pin-Up, that will be the likely danger in the race from a very informed combination and stable of Paul Peter. But I just think that class could prevail here in race number 6, number 1 Bold Fortune. Then the 2 horses at Scottsville on Sunday, and also a very early start for us. We're going with the first 2 races, and it's always tricky, backing 2-year-olds. One is kept guessing when it comes to the level of improvement that these horses are expected to make from one run to the next. And very often you see form reversals as well. But in this case, I'm hoping that this filly, Princess Ozma from the Wendy Whitehead stable, can just go from strength to strength, because when she won first time out, it was super impressive. She was sensible, she was professional, she got into the race early, she moved up over the final 300 meters, and she made it look very, very easy at the business end of the race. If you listen to that interview with Donovan Dillon and trainer Wendy Whitehead, they were full of praise for this filly's performance, lots of positive to take out as well. And there has been one runner from that form line to come out, beaten 10 lengths, was Sabatini, and that has come out to run second behind an odds-on favorite in Ride On. So, whilst it is expected with all these 2-year-olds to show natural improvement from one run to the next, I think this filly looks above average, and she could make it back-to-back here. Number 8, Prince Ozma, in race number 1 at Scottsville, and that's a juvenile plate for fillies over 1200 meters. And then the last of our 4 horses for the weekend comes up in race number 2, and again it's the juveniles that I'm going for. And this horse is called Gladiatorian. He's trained by Dennis Dreyer, and he was back to start off as the top one first time out. In fact, when it came race time, his starting price was in the red, so there was a weight of money on him, number 10 Gladiatorian. The talk was on course. The stable gave the confidence that they were expecting a forward performance from him first time out, and he did very little wrong. He was given every chance by jockey Sean Veal in the race, natural pace and speed, and he put in a determined challenge over the final 200 meters as well. He just found one good on the day, that was Question Master, trained by Robbie Hill. So I think Question Master, whenever he comes out, he's a type of horse that is worth following after a gutsy first win. Third in that race was Superior Force from the Mike Miller yard, that has since come out to enhance that form line and win. And you'll see that jockey Sean Veal is not riding. Well, Sean Veal is actually not riding at this meeting, so the stable of Dennis Dreyer have engaged the services of Anton Marcus, and I will assure you that Anton has been there to work this horse, and he'll be hoping that this horse can bring his homework to the course, and if he does just that, then he'll have a strong chance of winning here. There are lots of first-timers, there are horses that will improve, as we alluded to when we spoke about Princess Ozma in the previous race. It's difficult to gauge the expected improvement from one run to the next with these young horses, but I think number 10 Gladiatorian, as we've come to expect over the years from the Dreyer stable, there is marked improvement from one run to the next. And I think this horse, the fact that there was money for him, there was talk for him, and he did show first time out, that run would have brought him on a ton, and I'm expecting him to win. Number 10 Gladiatorian. So those 2 trebles, I then think that will be up on the World Sports Betting menu will be Blonde Act at Turfentine, into Princess Ozma and Gladiatorian at Scottsville, and then the other will be Bold Fortune at Turfentine into Princess Ozma and Gladiatorian at Scottsville. And guys, that is a wrap of the show, and I hope that you are going to have a wonderful weekend, whichever center that you are playing at or whatever bets that you fancy. And on behalf of World Sports Betting, thanks to all the punters, but more importantly and more especially, thanks to you, the valued customer. You take care, have a wonderful weekend. Until next week, you take care. Salanigashle.